I'm not usually the type to get hyped up over big game releases, but when it comes to indie games, I tend to get way more invested. Whether that be because they look like nothing I've ever played, or they're reviving a style of game that hasn't seen a major release in ages. I've been seeing so many incredible indie games set to come out in not too long that dang it, I just had to make a video about it. Some of these look so mind-blowingly good, yet have way less fanfare surrounding their release than they deserve, so I just had to spread the love. So yeah, anyways, let's start this list off with a bang. A Frogun bang, that is. When I first saw Frogun, I was like, oh my god, this is my dream aesthetic. It's like Mega Man Legends style, PS1 cel-shaded low poly stuff. It looks so good, but initially I was like, I don't know if the gameplay is fast enough for me. But recently I played Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, and that totally flipped my view on just how fun a slower, much more puzzle-oriented 3D platformer can be. And so now Frogun is like one of my most anticipated games, and I can't wait to see all the different ways they use the frog tongue gun for different kinds of gameplay. It looks like such a diverse mechanic in the way it seamlessly goes from being used for platforming, combat, and puzzles. It looks like one of those games where the tools you have are kind of simple to get a grasp on, but their depth really gets brought out by the variety in the level design. Judging from the trailer, the level mechanics seem to have a ton of that variety to keep the game fresh. And I really can't wait to play this cute and unique 3D puzzle platformer when it comes out on pretty much every platform in 2022. Cobysoft is an artist I'd been following for a long time on Instagram before I ever started seeing them post these little snippets of the game they were working on called Dome King Cabbage. It kind of made me do a double take, like, whoa, you're already godlike at making art and music, and now you're making this game that looks visually mind-blowing? Then I just lost my mind when they released a full-on trailer for the game. I know this game is a visual novel, so it has the ability to just put most of its focus onto its visuals, but yo, that still doesn't explain just how next level these visuals are for a game. Their art style has this surreal, dreamy quality, while having impressively realistic elements to it too, and it just looks like a masterclass in Blender. I love all the character designs and worlds, and even if this game had the worst story of all time, I would still play the hell out of it, just for the audiovisual experience. That being said, I do have faith it'll be a fun story, and I can't wait to see how it develops as they continue working on it. Now this one is it's done when it's done kind of project, so I can't tell you when it'll release, but definitely give Cobysoft a follow and you'll know when it's out. Oh, and I should mention that this game actually started out as a Game Boy Color Pokemon style game, and it even has a little demo you can play, and it's awesome. The game is so different now that it feels like they're two totally different projects, but yeah. Grappling hook. Need I say more? Well, yeah, of course I do. Sanabi looks like a really tightly designed 2D platformer with an emphasis on the grappling hook-based precision platforming. The gameplay looks really smooth and kinetic, but what's blowing me away is the incredible art style. It's reminiscent of games like Katana Zero with its detailed and smooth pixel art animations and creative use of lighting effects. Judging from the trailer, the game seems more focused on gameplay, but the characters and dialogue they did show off definitely had some charm. The world looks super interesting though, and I can't wait to see what's in store in this cyberpunk story. The game is slated to come out in the first quarter of 2022, so not too long from now, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out and if it plays as good as it looks. Okay, it's no secret that I'm a massive fan of Analgesic Productions, with the fact that I've made an in-depth analysis video on all 3 of their previous games. So it's kind of an understatement to say that I'm ginormously hyped for their next game, Sephonie. This one's gonna be a 3D platformer, which makes me so happy because that's my favorite genre, and it looks like a really interesting, unique take on the genre itself. The levels are these surreal cave systems that are brimming with otherworldly structures that make for cool platforming challenges. There's 3 different playable characters who have different moves, and all the movesets look really fun. Plus it looks like there'll be a puzzle minigame kind of thing going on to keep things fresh. Other than gameplay though, the story looks to be another amazing, strange journey full of all kinds of interesting symbolism and abstract metaphors that'll definitely have me endlessly analyzing in my inevitable overly long video about the game. Now there is a playable demo out already, but I've been trying to hold off until the whole game releases because Lord knows if I played that demo, I would end up making an hour-long video on that alone. I definitely recommend you play the demo yourself though, and keep an eye out for when this releases in early 2022, because every game Analgesic Productions makes is really something special. So a lot of people know the story about how Mario 64's development focused heavily on nailing the movement mechanics before ever getting into any of the other aspects of the game, because arguably the movement is the most important part of a 3D platformer. Well, the developer Rittz has taken that philosophy and ran with it for the development of their two different 3D platformers currently in development. The first of those being Blazing Dynamo, which has a playable demo at the moment, and wow, this game feels incredible to play. The movement options at your disposal allow so much freedom and creativity. You'll totally forget that you're just jumping around test areas without any environmental detail because it's so dang fun to play. The animations in particular just kind of blow me away in how they all connect together and flow so fluidly. Now their other 3D platformer, Goodnight Sunlight, also matches Blazing Dynamo in its freedom of movement, but this one actually is starting to come together environmental design-wise, and oh my god, it looks so good. Now both of these games are kinda in a state where it's like it's done where it's done, like I've said before, so just follow Rittz on Twitter to get more updates on the games and see the little snippets that I've been playing throughout this little section. But please give these games so much more hype, they deserve so much more than they're getting, and I just can't believe that this developer is making something so fluid and smooth and detailed and just looks so fun to play. So I found this artist I really liked years ago called Mini Pete, and then I was super surprised to find out that they had gotten into making games with their friends Mario and Simon and started a little dev team called Froach Club with them. For the most part, they've made cute, smaller scale experiences that have a lot of charm. Their first game they ever released was a short and sweet RPG Maker exploration kind of game called Melon Journey. It's pretty bare bones, but it's a fun time nonetheless. Melon Journey 2, however, seems like a much more fleshed out and fully realized game. The Game Boy inspired art style has been taken to a whole new level here in Melon Journey 2 though, and the music has also been stepped up to match. It seems like a pretty simple adventure style game, going around doing adventure things and talking to people. I'm down for a little more laid back experience for this one though, because it looks super cute and relaxing to play with some really hilarious dialogue. Now this was originally slated to come out in 2021, but as we approach the end of the year, it's looking more likely that it'll be a 2022 release. So yeah, even though the release date's not fully set in stone yet, definitely give Froach Club a follow to get all the updates and send them some love and encouragement, because game development is impossibly difficult and they deserve so much love for these cute little games they're putting out. Mushi Come Home is something I stumbled across on Twitter and instantly fell in love with. The aesthetic reminds me of a short hike, but even better because it's in this mini world where you play as a super cute mushroom. Now, I'm a sucker for games or movies where the characters are tiny and you see the world through their perspective. You know, like where regular objects are suddenly huge obstacles, you know, stuff like that. This looks like the perfect chill out and explore type of 3D platformer where you just go around talking to people and helping them as you make your way back home. The game's amazing aesthetic is matched by its equally cute and relaxing soundtrack and sound design. I can't wait to see what kinds of twists they put into the gameplay to make exploring a lot of fun, because at the moment it looks like there are already a good amount of creative ideas here with a lot of potential. There's no release date set for this one just yet, so go follow Some Humble Onion on your preferred social media platform to get updates on when it'll eventually come out. If you're a fan of weird mixed media art styles from games like Moon Remix RPG, then you should check out 24 Killers, developed by Happy Shabby Games. It has a really quirky style, unlike anything else I've seen before, and the gameplay also seems pretty unique too. From what I can tell, it's kinda an adventure / life sim type of game where you go around collecting items, solving little puzzles, helping people, and doing fun activities like these light farming elements. The main thing seems to be collecting something called Whispers though. For what goal, I'm not really so sure yet. And the story synopsis on Steam doesn't really clear that up. It reads, out in the Indian Ocean, somewhere in a tiny desert island where a multiverse spanning drama is unfolding, you play as Home, a cursed superintelligence bound to a soldier's corpse by an alien named Moon. Yeah, I have no idea what that means, but I love it. The surreal vibes here are cranked up to 11 and I'm all for it. Now the game is yet to have a release date so far, so follow Happy Shabby Games for updates on when it'll come out, because it's sure to be like nothing else you've ever played before. I've always wanted to do some good old jellyfishing as a kid. Maybe that's why I spent so much time catching bugs in the GameCube Animal Crossing back then. Well, now I can relive those net swinging days with Paradise Marsh. This is a bug and critter catching exploration game set in a relaxing world with relaxing music. It seems like a pretty simple game, but it looks like it'll have enough gameplay quirks and secrets to keep it interesting. What really draws me into this game is the incredible aesthetic. I don't know if it was specifically a short hike that started this trend, but the new 3D indie games that kind of look cel shaded and kind of like PS1 are like my new favorite thing. And dang, they really nailed that style here, and I can't wait to explore the beautiful scenery of this calming world. This one's set to come out in not too long, in February of 2022, so keep this one on your radar and follow Lazy Eddie for updates about this game. So I mentioned my love of grappling hooks when talking about Sanabi, but Big Hops takes it to another level because it has froggy grapple hook gameplay. This looks like such a fun physics system to play around with, and I can only imagine the crazy stuff speedrunners will be pulling off by chaining momentum from swing to swing. Honestly, even without the frog tongue, the other tools in the moveset alone could have been enough to sustain a good 3D platformer. It looks like it controls so well. There looks like there'll be a lot of potential in all the different stuff you can pick up and throw to create platforms, and I can't wait to see what weird creative uses they think of for that. The game seems pretty much focused purely on gameplay at the moment, but I'm sure by the end of it all, there'll be a cute little story with charming characters to guide you along your hop-filled journey. Hey, even if there's not, I'm still gonna play the heck out of this because dang, it just looks like such a fun 3D platforming system. Now this is another done when it's done kind of project, so we'll have to be patient, but definitely give Chris Wade a follow if you want any updates on Big Hops. So what do you do when you've already made The Messenger, one of the best indie action platformers ever? Well, of course, you make a Chrono Trigger inspired JRPG. Okay, but really, Sabotage Studios looks to totally pivot into a new genre with their next game, Sea of Stars, and I couldn't be more hyped that this is the direction they're going in. The most striking thing about the game is definitely the art and world design. It looks absolutely incredible, and the atmospheric lighting is used really well to elevate the pixel art. I think having interesting and varied environments is key to making a JRPG have the right sense of adventure and discovery, and it looks like they really nailed that. I'm really excited that within this cool world, it looks like they've put in a bunch of cool overworld puzzles. I like this touch, and I wish more RPGs would try to add something like this because it makes the world traversal so much more engaging and varied. This looks to be one of the best indie JRPGs in a long time, so keep your eye on this one when it releases in 2022. Okay, so there's 10 indie games to get excited about. Hopefully you learned about some new games through this list, or if you knew them all already, then, well, you have good taste. Anyway, thanks so much for watching the video, and let me know what other upcoming indie games you're excited about in the comments. And also let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this from me. I had a lot of fun putting this together and getting to share some of the projects from my favorite game developers. And once again, please give them all a follow because games are so fun to play but so hard to make, and they all deserve way more support. Okay, thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a good one.